Here we go again on another beautiful Wednesday morning. Good morning and the finest of welcome to ASO Sports right here on ASO Television. We are live on DSTV at channel 392 and also on radio at the FM 93.5. I am Monday Thomas, and I'm pleased as punch to be your anchor this morning. A lot has been happening in the world of sports, and as well as football. It's still International Week. And we saw some international games, especially that one that took place in Marrakesh, Morocco by 10 p.m. Nigerian time. Nigeria, of course, losing to the Eagles of Mali by 2-0. We're going to dissect that particular one, take a look at the starting 11. And of course, that's not going to be the entirety of the show this morning. We are certainly going to hear from what the Minister of Youth and Sports, Senator John Enodd, had to say after a very successful stint for the athletes that went to the 13 African Games in Ghana. He's saying that Nigeria's got the capacity to host the Commonwealth Games. And also we'll be talking about the NPFL as we are counting down to the end of the season. For some teams, they have 11 matches to go for the likes of Doma United and Akwa United. And they're on the news this morning. We'll get to break that down for you. I won't be doing this alone. Joining me is the considerable help of my partner this morning. Once again, Amarachi, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Thomas. Good morning, Abuja. It's a beautiful...
Without further ado, it's time for us to head into the nitty-gritty, and that is slicing and dicing all the cool sports story. It was not so cold yesterday evening in Marrakech for the Super Eagles of Nigeria after a very promising start to the 2024 international window, beating the Black Stars of Ghana by 2-1. Hopes were high as we were looking forward for another victory for Finidi George in his second test game, but everything went awry for the Super Eagles of Nigeria as they lost by 2-0 against the Mali. And the first goal was scored in the first 17 minutes, a blunder from the defense line. And the second goal was scored 3 minutes to the end of the game to see Nigeria lose that particular game by 2-0. It has to be said that for the entirety of the game, Nigeria had just 3 shots on goal, none of them on target. And let's quickly take a look at the starting 11 as we look to dissect what could have been the reason of the Super Eagles of Nigeria losing to the Eagles of Mali. Here you have it. Amarachi, I'm going to put you at the center cycle, break things down for us. We have a great formation, a 3-5-2. Well, not so great in my opinion, but that is a very good, solid starting 11 with our reliable, safe hands, Stanley Nwabali starting in goal, Bright Osai, Jamilu Collins, and the likes of Semi Ajayi. Omeru was the captain. Chidozie Owazem is a Super Eagles perennial. And of course, Wilfred Ndidi. Iwobi was right there. Nwadieke seems to be the new player that started for the Super Eagles, Kelechi Iheanacho and Simon Moses. Maybe I'm just overstating things. Do you think, or what's your opinion on this starting 11? What's the excuse? I mean, do we have any excuse for losing against Mali with this solid starting 11, in my opinion? The head coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. I mean, a 3-5-2 formation saw Nigeria not having a single shot on target, despite having the bulk of the possession. Wilfred Ndidi in the middle of the park alongside Alex Iwobi, and we had a strike partnership of Simon Moses and Kelechi Iheanacho. But at the end of the day, the headlines this morning is that the Eagles of Mali beats the Super Eagles of Nigeria in that very feisty Eagle clash. Still in the country now, let's get to talk about the Minister of Sports, Senator John Enodd. Yesterday, he made a very bold statement, and we need to dissect it on the show this morning. He went ahead to state that Nigeria have got the capacity, they've got all it takes to host the Commonwealth Games. The Commonwealth Games is a quadrennial international multi-sport event that sees athletes from different countries that are part of, that were once part of the British Empire. The event, of course, started in 1930 and is hosted after every 4 years. I mean, it's quite a concern that, according to the Minister of Youth and Sports, Minister of Sports, John Enoh, he stated that it's very concerning that despite having 19 African member countries in the Commonwealth, we are yet to see an African country host it. And he went ahead to claim that Nigeria have got the capacity to host the Commonwealth Games. And he's eyeing the 2030 edition. And he knows clearly, according to what he said, that he might not be around at that time, but he's certainly going to make the proposal to the presidency and see how they can start preparation as we look to bid for the 2030 Commonwealth Games. Do you think this is realistic, or he's just having more faith than he should? Meiser and the new manager, of course, Zuma United will travel to Uyo to face off with Akwa United at the Gosula Pabio International Stadium. And now it's time for us to bring you the highlights of Nigeria versus Mali in Marrakesh yesterday. You're welcome back to ASO Sports right here on ASO Television. Many thanks to you for staying tuned. We are live on DSTV at channel 392 and also on radio at 93.5. And then let's continue talking international football from Marrakesh. Let's get to the Euros as we prepare for the Euros 2024 that will be hosted in Germany starting on the 14th of June. Yesterday, we saw 3 countries that were supposed to fill in the puzzle for the group stages. And yes, congratulations to the likes of Georgia. They will be playing in the Euros 2024 for the very first time in history. Poland were also through after getting past the likes of Wales via the penalty, finished 5-4 with Krzysztof Piatek scoring the winning penalty, and former Manchester United player Daniel James missed the final spot kick for the Welsh national team. Georgia, like I said, also through after getting past Greece, and this was also via the penalty kick. It finished 4-2. And we'll get to see the Victor Osimhen's partner, Kifcha Kvaratskhelia. He's going to be playing in the Euros, and as well as Ukraine. Of course, Ukraine are also through to the Euros. It was Chelsea's star boy, Mykhailo Mudryk, who scored the winning goal for the Ukrainians. We get to see them in Euros. It's time for us to take a look quickly at the groups of the Euros 2024. Everyone was waiting for the playoffs to be concluded. And now I think it's time for us to take a look at the groups and how it all stands for the summer, of course, quadrennial tournament that is hosted every 4 years. And this time around, it's going to be hosted in Munich. And here we have it on your screens, Amarachi. Something fantastic is coming up in June, and certainly going to be a great one. In Group A, we'll get to see the likes of Germany, the host nation, Scotland, and Hungary, as well as Switzerland. In Group B, Poland, who just qualified last night, will take on the Netherlands, Austria, and France. Of course, in Group B, we'll get to see Spain versus Croatia, as well as Tunisia and Albania. In Group E, Belgium, who played a 2-2 draw against England yesterday, will take on Slovakia, Romania, and Ukraine. In Group C, we'll get to see likes of Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia, and England, and as well as in Group F, which is going to complete the puzzle, Turkey, Georgia, Portugal, and Czech Republic. Talking about Portugal, yesterday they were in action in Slovenia. Cristiano Ronaldo played 90 minutes in that particular encounter, but at the end of the day, it was the Slovenians who came up top with Jan Oblak in goal, of course, stopping Cristiano Ronaldo from scoring. Keeping a clean sheet against Cristiano Ronaldo is always something very fantastic. Congratulations to the Slovenians. 6-3 to qualify to the quarterfinals of the Miami Open. Top seen Spanish youngster at the age of 20. He's doing greatly as far as tennis is concerned. From tennis, let's get to wrap things up with basketball. And it's about Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic was very much alive yesterday or last night at the Golden One Center. Let's quickly hear what he had to say after that particular game. He feels like they are super humans right there in Dallas. Let's quickly get this particular interview.
Kid pre-game, and he called you Superman. He called Kyrie Batman. What's that chemistry been like between you two superheroes on this team?
He's the Batman. I'm the Robin. Nah, just amazing, man. Having him on our team is amazing, man. But that's our basketball. He's just a great person, and we all get along so well. So it's just the chemistry is really good right now.
You have 5.
Luka Doncic calling himself Robin Hood and, of course, referring to Kyrie Irving as the Batman. Of course, it's getting very, very intense as we are counting down to the NBA playoffs. Dallas Mavericks beat Sacramento Kings last night by 132 to 96, and Luka Doncic scored 28 points in that game, while Kyrie Irving scored 24. No wonder they are the Batmans and the Robin Hoods as far as the NBA is concerned. As far as I'm concerned right now, we've reached a point where we put our gears on reverse on ASO Sports for today, Wednesday, the 27th day of March 2024. And I must say, Marty, it was a delight doing this with you.
Of course, just after a day where we got to lose that particular one against Mali, I wouldn't forget because, of course, you were preparing to come in with the good news. But, of course, whichever way, it's still a good news on both ends because now we know that we will not comfortably relax. We still have a lot of work to do, especially for the Super Eagles team.
Let's pray and hope that the good news comes in the qualifiers when we take on a very tough opponent, the Bafana of South Africa. Before then, we're going to take on the Bafana in the women's category as we prepare for the Olympics qualifiers. I'm preparing to negotiate my goodbyes. Tomorrow, I'll be back right here by 10 a.m. on channel 392 on DSTV and as well as on radio at 93.5. But for now, I'm going to say my goodbyes. See you later for something greater.